Welcome to the world of Zip System building enclosures, where we believe in striving for optimal air, water, and thermal management, no matter the region or climate. Because when you have the right products to do the right job the right way, the first time, you're building to a higher code, the Zip Code.
I'm Jake Bruton, and today on the Build Show Network, we are going to talk one more time about our 2 layers of foam, 2 layers of Advantech floor. I know you've seen it before, but I want to discuss why we're doing it this way on this project. Let's do it now. Okay, so this is probably your 3rd or 4th time seeing this if you're an avid viewer of the Build Show and the Build Show Network. This is the same basic assembly that Matt did at his personal house. This is the same assembly that Steve Basic and I developed for our slabless slab house. If we didn't have concrete here, we'd just be on the ground with this. And this is the same assembly that I made a recent video at our Prairie House 2 house, but we have a good cross section here that we kind of missed at the other job, and we have Advantech X Factor, and we have different things going on with our vapor control layers here. And I just thought, let's reiterate the fact, let's talk about it again, and let's see what's different about this house and why we're doing these things this way. So this is our cattle ranch project. This is a new construction project that my company, Aarow Building, is building here in Lewisburg, Kansas. We have offices in Columbia, Missouri, and we have offices in Olathe, Kansas, serving the Kansas City market. Lewisburg is part of the operations in our Kansas City market, and this is one of our new homes. This is a 3-bedroom, 3 bath. I had to think about that, 2.5 bath. And we're in the like 3,700 square foot range, slab on grade, turned down slab. If you pay close attention, we talked about vapor barrier here a few weeks ago with our Stego home beneath the slab here, meaning that's our first change in assembly. At our Prairie House 2, we had a Intera that was taped on all the seams, and we were using the facer on the Halo Intera as our vapor control layer. Here we have vapor control below our slab. We have a different market, things are happening in a different way, and we have different standards and what people want and don't want, and we have, when it comes down to it, sometimes different personalities, meaning different crew members that have different ideas on how they would like to see things get done. Here we have the Stego home below the slab, so our slab does not have vapor drive because we have a control layer underneath that, meaning we don't have to tape all these seams. I'm going to make the claim here that I think Stego home underneath and not taping the seams here was probably less effort, less work, probably a wash once we paid for the Stego home to the clients from a budget standpoint, but I think that this was probably less effort on our crew members' side. So what we've done is just tack these pieces in place with a little piece of zip tape at the corners just to hold everything here. And our crew members were nice enough to stage this where we can see it. They held off finishing this one corner so I could actually film it. Next, we have that floating layer or floating raft of 2 layers of Advantech. So we'll talk about the Advantech X Factor in a second, but let's talk about the Advantech first. The Advantech and the 2 layers, same assembly. We're offset 90 degrees, offset our seams so that we don't have any 4-foot or 8-foot seams that align with each other. You can see our 4-foot section of our panel breaks roughly in the middle of a 4x8 sheet. That means we have like ultimate stability. And I was talking with somebody the other day, this is basically a CLT or a plywood. So CLT, cross-laminated timber, it's a bunch of boards stacked in opposing directions that are all glued and pressed together. That's what this is. It just seems funky because it's 2 layers of subfloor. There is no floor framing underneath this. We got a couple questions on that the other day as well. There are no sleepers here. The Halo Intera has a PSI rating that is more than enough to support this. And what's really funny is if I go from concrete to first layer of Intera, it kind of feels like there's a little bit of give. If I go to the second layer of Intera, it kind of feels like it still has a little bit of give. And if I step on the Advantech, it still almost feels like it has a little bit of movement. And it's like, I believe in the concrete. I'm not sure if I believe, I'm not sure if I believe, I'm not sure if I believe. But as soon as you step onto the second layer that is glued and screwed together, it really is rock hard and soft at the same time. And I mean soft like it doesn't bother your knees the way a concrete floor might, but it doesn't give. And this is the fourth time or third time we've done this now, and I truly believe in this system. In fact, I was in our Prairie House Aarow project the other day. It was finished in either late 18 or early 19. There are no drywall cracks in that whole building. There are no trim pieces that need to be repainted. It is one of the most stable buildings we've ever built, and it doesn't have a foundation, or it doesn't have a slab. It just has a foundation wall around the perimeter. It's a very interesting thing to be able to see this over the years and understand that we really are stable. We really can believe in this. It really does meet code, and everything is fine here. And I think the other day when I had the conversation and we talked about it as being no different than a CLT or a laminated 2-layer plywood, this really made a little bit more mental sense for me. So I wanted to bring it up from that standpoint. Next is the X Factor on the top and the Advantech underneath. We don't have to have the X Factor here. We're already dried in. We're not really worried. But one of the things that we like about the X Factor is its markability. And when we lay it out like this, and we're going to have to chalk all these interior partitions before we start, or interior partitions on the floor and then start building off of it, I really like the ability to see the stuff on the X Factor. We're not looking at the X Factor for the vapor control. We're not looking at it for our real durability considering to the weather here. Really, we're paying for that because it's going to make things easier on the framers. It is an upgrade. But that upgrade only happens on the top layer. That's why it's not on the bottom layer. I had a conversation with Steve, the architect, and he said, well, why wouldn't you just use it on the bottom layer too? And I was like, well, that's another $1,500 maybe to the clients. We're already asking them to have an upgrade by using it on the top layer, so we don't need to use it on both. The manufacturer doesn't care. It's still all the same install that we've done before. And to be perfectly honest, it's special order. So anytime that we can avoid some special order materials, we will. So one of the things that I thought was pretty great here is our in-house carpentry crew is framing this house. Our carpenters were smart enough to get all of this into the building before we set the windows and the doors. That way they could use the lift to put everything inside here. And we can see behind me there is a sliding patio door back there, a lift and slide. The operable panel is still out of that. It's actually bolted to the wall over here to get it up and out of the way and protected and everything. And now we have this like interior warehouse that we get to work and we get to build everything here. And we have a warm, soft floor that I think for clients that are building this house to age in place, this is going to be, as far as we can find, the best possible assembly for a slab on grade home. We're a single level, we're very soft, we're able to put hardwood or tile or carpet, any flooring we want on this, and we're not adhering anything directly to concrete. We're not worried about the temperature transfer from cold concrete floors up to our clients. And I think that this is something that, this is probably here to stay for our company, and I think that the X Factor is probably going to be part of it as well, because already we've noted like it's easier to see stuff on this floor. I think it probably even reads on video that this is a little easier to see than the regular old Advantech. And if this gets discoloration or water in it, it's not going to discolor the way that regular floor sheeting does. So I realize we're reiterating this floor assembly. I think it's very interesting. I think that we're trying it a bunch of different ways. So I just kind of wanted to share that with everybody. Reach out. I want to know what you guys think and whether or not you're considering doing any of this after we've promoted it multiple times and we've seen it with Matt and we've seen it with us and Steve, whether or not this is something you would consider. So till next time, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. There's 2 emails a week. That's not too much to ask for us to be able to share all of our content with you. Don't forget to subscribe to me on Instagram and Steve Basic on Instagram. He is the architect on this project. Don't forget Steve Basic and Peter Yost and I also have the Unbuild It podcast. So don't forget to follow us. We talk first and third Thursday of the month, business, building science, and Steve has some really crappy jokes from time to time. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.